Hi guys! Today I'm going to do an update on the origami folding video of these stars. These are 8-pointed stars like this. And here's one that is with just the one color all the way through. So I like making it out of something that has the edges a different color because it makes kind of this interesting look where the different points are different colors. So I'm going to stick with that here. You're going to start with a bird base. To make a bird base, you want to start with a square base. To make a square base, you are turning your full piece of paper into a square that is 1/4 the size. So you fold it in half both ways, straight, from edge to edge. So you bring this edge to the opposite edge, this edge to the opposite edge, and then you will have your square made into 4 squares of equal sides. So each square is 1/4 the size of the original square. So when you made those folds, you folded the white side to the white side so that the colored side is on the outside. Now for the next folds, you want to make it so that the colored side is on the inside. Take the edge to the adjacent edge. And you're basically just going point to point, folding across the diagonal. And same thing across the other diagonal. Now, if you look at just the folds that we just made, you have split square paper into 4 equal triangles. So you have this triangle, these triangles, and this triangle. Now, to make the square base, you are going to fold these side ones in. So those little sides of the triangle that you made, you want to fold those in, and then you just keep these squares like this. And you want it oriented like this too. So I'll just show that again from the inside. So this is going to be the back square. These are going to be the side squares. You just fold these points down to the bottom point. And then you take this point and fold it on top to the bottom point as well. So now you're going to have a closed side pointing away from you, the open side pointing towards you. And now you want to continue on. This is the square base, so now you continue on to make a bird base. So you can look these up. So sometimes diagrams work better for people, sometimes the video works better for people. What I'm making now is called a traditional bird base, so you should be able to find that fairly easily. So what I have just done, and we're going to do it again on the other side, is I've taken the bottom edge and folded it to the center. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Take the bottom edge and fold it to the center. And then do the same thing on the other side. Now I got a comment on my star video that said you can't see anything, so that's why I am updating it with the bird's eye view camera to make it easier on myself. This is not always shown in making the bird base, but I like to make it easier on myself to begin with. So I will unfold the folds that I just made. And then if I fold this top flap over to the right, and then flip the whole thing over and do the same thing, turn the top flap over to the right again, you're going to have a square base again. But you already have the crease. The folds are just going in the opposite direction. So basically now you're still doing from the bottom to the center, but it can easily fold in either direction. Just make sure you keep your point nice and pointy at the bottom. That is something that I can, if I'm not paying attention, that point can get kind of sloppy. So just keep that in mind. Same on the other side here, like that. Okay, so now you have this kite shape. you have the larger triangle here, you have the smaller triangle up top, and the larger triangle is made up of 2 triangles like that. So now you want to take the smaller triangle and this bottom line that separates the 2 triangles, you want to fold along that line. And then same thing like before, I want to reinforce this fold in all 4 directions. So I just did the front and the back. Now I'm going to turn everything once and fold it to the sides. Now that we're back here, we have made this fold, we just made that fold, and then we had made these folds. And open up these folds. Now you want to take this point and you want to bring it up to the top, folding along this line that you made earlier here. So I'm going to do just that. Take this point, fold it up to the top, folding along that line that we made there. So it's going to look something like this. Now, if you make sure to crease these creases that you've already made and make sure that they're folding inwards on both sides, then you're going to get that flap to fold completely flat. And all of the red is on the outside, all of the white is on the inside. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side, so we're going to flip the whole piece over and do that again. Fold along this line, bring this point up to the top. We know exactly where that point is going to go because it's going to go against the back one. And same thing, just make sure that these folds are creased in the correct direction. Make sure that point's nice and pointy. Alright, so this is one orientation of the bird base. Now that we've made those folds, we can fold against that line again. And this is another orientation of the bird base. So now, if you think about these little corners that we've just made as like 4 points of the star, we want to kind of get rid of this top part. So we're going to fold that into the center. And the way we're going to do that is a squash fold. So we want to make that disappear underneath this. So you essentially want to do this, but you want this to be on the inside as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to open it up a little bit. And then you're going to see that square that you've made with those folds. That's the square that you want to sink in. So you want to make sure that all of these folds are nice crisp mountain folds. And because we were reinforcing the edges, or because we were reinforcing all of our creases in both directions earlier, this part will be easy. So now you have kind of like a square-based pyramid, if you look at it from this direction. But we're focusing right here on this part. Now, all of these folds now, they are folds, they're mountain folds, so that means that the fold is coming out towards you. You want to change them all to valley folds so that the folds are folding down. So you kind of just reinforce them like this. And now all those folds are folding down. Now you can take your fingers and kind of push it in. And keep pushing it in until that whole triangle is completely inverted and pushed underneath. And you want to make sure that the point of that triangle the little triangle that we pushed in is nice and pointy on the inside. You can't see it now because it's trapped in there, but if you keep looking from the top, you don't want anything like folded upwards or anything. You want it to be completely folded in. These tips are, in some places, on some edges, they're trapped, and on some edges, they are free. Yeah, so they might be free on some edges, so don't start with that one. Start with one where it's trapped, because you want to take this point and point it upwards as far as you can go. So you want to fold that upwards. And you want to make sure that this line continues straight all the way. You want it to be parallel to this top line. You don't want your fold to be crooked like that. So those are just two ways you can make sure it's parallel. Then you want to do the same thing on this side. Because this one's completely free, now you have that template to put your point. You want all the points to be equal distance. Then you can flip this way. Like you can flip one of them over and then flip the whole piece over and then flip one of them over to the right like that. And then take that bottom corner and line it up to the template. Flip the piece over, take the bottom corner and flip it up to the template until there are no more bottom corners anymore. Now it's just flat on the bottom there, and it looks like a sailboat like that. Now you're going to take this corner of the boat here and draw a line down to the center bottom here. And you're going to fold along that line like that. And then do the same thing on this side. From this corner to this bottom center, you fold like that. Flip your piece and do it again. And then we're going to do that thing again where we take one layer and fold it over to the right. Flip your piece, take one layer, fold it over to the right, and then do those folds again. Flip your piece over, do those folds one last time. Take the top point and you hold onto that, pinch it, and then take your other hand and hold down the bottom point. And the side points, just let them be loose. They'll go where they need to go. You take this top point and put it all the way down. And you'll see that you have a square here. You have a square, and then you have little triangles coming out the side. And then just flip your whole thing over. And you are done with your star. Similar to the shape of the wreath module, but it is a little bit different. So I hope you liked folding this. I hope this explained it better than I had before and shows the folds a little bit better than my old video. So I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.